All right, so Zaina, I'm going to heal her. She's not going to make an actual error. I'm just going to pretend. So I'm going to pretend she dropped her eyes. All right, so at the moment when she theoretically drops her eyes, I freeze. That's the piece, for some reason, people have the most trouble with this. For me, I like it because it's black and white. Dog makes error, I freeze. That's it. It's that simple, right? Um, because freezing kind of marks that moment in time, and the timing is important. If I tell her 1 second later that she made an error, she's going to think the thing that happened a second later was wrong. They need to know in that moment. So I'm going to stop. That's the first piece. That's super important. Then I'm going to tell her how to be right. I'm not going to assume that she knows, because people do that all the time. If my dog knew, they would not have made the error. So don't assume. You know what they say about that word. So I'm going to stop. That marks what just happened. I'm going to tell her how to be right. Up here. All right, that's her verbal and physical cue. That means keep your eyes up here. Now, depending on your dog, right, like in her case, if I give her that information, that's very clear. She does not get upset. So I can just release her and do that over. However, if you have the type of dog like Zeal that's like beating themselves up already because they made a mistake and they're horrified, then you're going to do some tricks. What is the goal of the tricks? To get their attitude up. So you need to read your dog. You only need to do enough tricks until the dog's back in a good mental and emotional state. However many tricks that is. All right, so she's good. So now we're going to do the same thing again. If she does it correctly this time, we are not going to keep going. It's another thing people love to do, just keep going. No, if she does it right this time, I'm going to tell her, yes, what a good girl. Now she has a very clear comparison. Dropping your eyes was not correct. Keeping your eyes on me is correct. Very clear, okay? Yes. So that's the spot where she made the theoretical error. That's where I'm going to reward her. Good girl. Nice job. All right. All right. So now we're going to work on something else. And in working on something else that I wanted to demo, she did make an actual mistake, which is perfect. All right. So here is. So I'm going to pretend her sit was not correct. It was a little, I'm going to pretend that wasn't correct. So let's just pretend she didn't do that right. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to show her how to be right. I'm going to lay her down and I'm going to tell her sit. And I'm going to say, good girl, but no cookie. I might do it again. Sit. Good girl, but no cookie. It's just information. It's telling her how to be right. And then I'm going to do it again. Except when I go to do it again, she makes an actual error. So do a few tricks there, make sure her head's on straight. Now we're going to do it again. Now her error is technically my error. So I did the tricks to show you guys that if your dog loses an attitude after making a mistake, that's how you get their attitude back up. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't need to do that with her. I did that with her, and all I did was mess her up. I put her in too high of an arousal state with those tricks. So she's going to make a mistake, but it's okay. It's good for demo purposes. Sorry, Zaina. So I'm going to tell her to down, and she's going to vocalize. So that cue says to her, calm down and be quiet. She understands what that means. So that's what I'm telling her. I'm telling her to be quiet. Now I'm just going to do it over because if I do tricks, I know it's going to get her too excited and it's going to increase the odds that she's going to vocalize again. So I'm not doing tricks because I don't need to. She still vocalized. Oh no, she was correct there. She was quiet. So what did I do? I marked and I reinforced. I didn't just keep going. I showed her the comparison. You vocalize, that's not what I want. You do it quietly, yes, that's what I want. Good girl. There you get your reinforcer. All right?
No.
She vocalized again, so this time I said no. She knows what no means, right? She knows it means don't do that, do something else. But I also tell her, I give her the cue that means calm down and don't make noise. All right? So I have ongoing issue with this because she likes to tell me what to do. So we're going to reset. We're going to do it again. I gave her a little reminder. She did it right. Yes. Good girl. Here's your cookie. Nice job. All right. So there I said, okay, I need to keep her calm because otherwise she's going to vocalize. So there she was quiet. I said good, just to reinforce that again. I did the sit. She did the sit right. And she got reinforced for the sit. Because remember, originally we pretended the sit was incorrect. So now we've got those things ironed out. I down her, she's quiet, good girl. I was just making sure she was paying attention because sometimes she doesn't. She sat, that was correct. And then I can keep going if I want. Right? Because now I can keep going because I explained to her how to fix the quiet error. I explained to her how to fix the sit error. Right? And now she's like, okay, I remember how to do everything the right way. Now if I want, I can extend the chain. But I don't extend the chain unless those individual pieces are worked out. Right? Now, with her, when she makes she's fully trained to the nth degree. When she makes a mistake, sometimes I don't need to say anything. I just stop and I tell her how to be right. But with certain things like vocalization, she will do it multiple times in a row because she feels like she has to tell me off, right? So when she does it once, I may not say no. I may just be like, hey, you need to be quiet. But if she does it again, then I'm going to say no. Because to her, that means I'm not kidding around. I'm serious. And then she's like, oh, okay. And she doesn't get upset when I say it because she's perfectly fine afterwards. She does her job correctly and we can move on. No loss in attitude. So for some dogs, no works. For her, it works in certain situations. In other situations, if I say no, like if her front is off and I just want her to fix it and I say no, fix your front, she gets super weird. So I don't use no there, right? Again, you have to read your dog and it's very easy. If I say no, how does my dog respond? Does my dog get all upset about it? Well, that might not be the best choice, right? Which is why stopping or interrupting the moment they make the mistake is so powerful. In most instances, you don't even have to say no because that indicates that something just happened. It draws their attention to it. And then you can give them good information on how to be right, and then they're fine, okay? Zeal, I never said no ever. He would have died and had a heart attack. Zesty, most of the time I do not say no, but sometimes saying no clarifies things for him and he likes it. Okay? So you have to read your dog and get to know your dog.